Good morning, guys. Welcome to day 115 and Tell Me YouTube Millionaire. And I've got another book review for you today, actually. I started this book, The Diving Bell and the Butterfly, immediately after I finished the last one, No One Writes Back. And I didn't expect that I would finish this one as fast as I did. But the thing is, it's a relatively short book. So it's only 130 pages of quite small pages with pretty large margins. So I would guess it's like 20,000 words or so, if that. But it's pretty straightforward. So the guy who wrote it was a victim of locked-in syndrome. He had a cerebral cerebrovascular accident. He had a stroke, right? Where at the base of his spine, or right here, basically, a blood clot exploded and caused him to be paralyzed. This book reminds me distinctly of the movie Source Code with Jake Gyllenhaal. And in Source Code, which, by the way, is probably an S-tier movie, in my opinion. It's up there with the likes of Inception and Gladiator and Braveheart, like among the best movies you can watch. Jake Gyllenhaal is a pretty good actor, but this is very distinctly similar to that. In that movie, he is part of a government research project where he's in the military, he's a captain, and his lower body gets blown off. And he had signed up for this research study or experiment where if he were on the verge of death, they would prevent him from dying. So they put him in like this glue stuff so that they could try to use his mind while he was on the verge of death to see, because they had a hypothesis that they'd be able to look into the future with that. In the movie, yeah, they were able to do that, and eventually it's revealed what happened to him, and the fact that his lower body was gone, and he was in like this little vessel, like a diving bell, actually. I get the impression that the person who made that movie probably read this book. And the reason this book was written at all, more than likely, is because of the profession of the main character. His name is Jean-Dominique Balbi, right? It was written back in 1996. And he was actually the editor-in-chief of Elle, a very popular magazine at that time in France. He's French, obviously, for you can probably discern from the name. And because of this, he had access pretty much immediately to editors, publishers, writers, authors, all this stuff. And he had Claude, I don't know if I'm saying her name right, who was a transcriber, author person, come in, and because he could blink his left eye, that's how they communicated. Eventually, he did get a little better over the course of the year that he was alive with this syndrome, where he could turn his head a little bit, he could grunt, but he blinked his eye, his left eye, and that is how he communicated with Claude to get this entire manuscript written, all approximately 20,000 words of it. It's very good. I very much recommend it. So the way this is going to happen going forward is I'm either going to give you a recommended or not recommended, and then on top of that, if it's like S tier, then I'll let you know if it's in the S tier. But otherwise, it's just recommended or not recommended. And this one is a strong recommend. It's very good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Easy to read. If you're somebody who has difficulty getting into reading because it's a little exhausting, this will be a pretty good one for you. Let's see if I have anything else I wanted to say. I always write notes of the books that I read so that I don't forget main points. It harkens back on page 94. Finally, I had forgotten Mithra Grand Champ. The memory of that event has only just come back to me, now doubtfully painful. Regret for a vanished past, and above all, remorse for lost opportunities. This reminded me of something that Bailey Schilbach said, because she also read this book. The name of one of her videos is Almost as Grief. Almost as Grief, we're talking about regret. So, Also on page 102, he talks about the book Seneca, who's one of the ancient philosophers of humanity, and I'm also going to probably read that book next. So yeah, there you go, guys. That's this one for you. Hope you enjoyed. I'll talk to y'all soon. Love you. Love you all, as I always say. Peace.